Hi, this is SSgt Kwakye,
Global Defense Supply Chain Analyst.
Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all my audience. My name is SSgt Kwakye, and this episode I want to give you more information about supply chain. This episode will be about dues management. But before I start with the dues management, I want you to understand certain issues which I have come across through my supply chain experience. The first one is desire, which is desire is what prepare customers to seek for something. For a customer to go and buy something from a shop, he needs to have the urge, the appetite, the requirement. And when it comes into business, that's where the concept phase, that's where the business contract starts from. So as soon as desire comes into the heart of customer, it prepares demands to be placed. So in defense or in army, a demand is placed log IS. So we have MJDI that we place demand on, and previously we used to use global. And when you go into other companies, they use SAP, which is the SAP systems to place demand. And when demand is placed, then the third D is known as dues in management. So as soon as demand is placed, a dues is required to come. And today, that's where I will talk much about. The fourth one is distribution. So when you are placing demand and you are checking your dues, you should ensure that the item is going to go to the rightful place. And we look into the rightful place as the location, the right location, and the right storage of that particular item. So let's say in case like fresh goods, let's say produce are being moved from Africa to, let's say, Europe, and from Europe to other part of European countries, we need to store them in a very good storage, like let's say a refrigerator, ISOs, which will keep the item or the produce in a very cool and rightful temperature, so that it won't get destroyed or expire to the consumer. And the consumer end must be the rightful place. So when you are placing the demand, you must make sure that vetting has been done and a proper test is given. And in army, sometimes when we are going on exercise, we do move our SQ or our QM to a different location. And when demand is placed, we have to change the address, and we call something non-standard address, and that one needs to be done properly so that the goods will arrive at the rightful place. And the fifth D is called disposal. Anytime desire come into the heart of the customer, let's say we want to develop a particular mission, and desire comes into our heart that this is what the requirement for the soldiers to be used. This was the requirement for, let's say, iPhone users. The desire has come, the requirement has come from the customers. Therefore, when we are planning to produce it, in the same way we have to plan the exit time of that product, and that's we call it disposal. So there must be a contract for the disposal part, so that we won't destroy our environment that we live in. And the last one is data accounting. Anytime we place demand and we do check dues in management and distribution and everything, we must have a data to understand the trend of demands, the trend of shapes and size of the item which is moving, and what is happening. So today I want to dwell much on dues management. When we say dues, what does it mean? When we mention dues, what does it mean? The dues word can be defined out of the word dues is DUES. It means demand you expect from supply. A demand you as a customer expect from supply. So anytime that we place demand, it is the responsibility of the demander to chase the demand and ensure that information back to timeline. And what do you use to raise DL? What do we use to help us to do the dues management? One is 592. 592 usually print each day. 593 print each day, but it is not the accurate information, because anytime when it prints on MJDI, 7 days they drop off. So the best part to manage your dues is to run a cognos report each day, or maybe anytime you're doing your management, run a cognos report to pull all the outstanding demands, filter them according to which has arrived or not. Nowadays there is a very good, it's being given to the user. We have many kinds of dues, and these dues fall in the supply chain equation. If I say supply chain equation, for you to know the net position of your supply chain is your stock, closing stock, plus your dues in, take away your dues out. And this will tell you, it's the same as when you go into the accounting world. We have cash at bank and cash in hand, plus our debtors minus our creditors will determine our financial net position of the business. So what are the types of dues? The types of dues that we have two major dues. We have internal dues and also external dues. The internal dues comes in dues in and dues out, and also the external dues also come in as dues in and dues out. So for the internal dues are all dues that is between, let's say, the quartermaster, the QM in the organization, in the regiment, and also the CQ or the BQ or the SQMS. So the SQMS are the consumers, and the middleman is the QM department. So every demand that they place, the internal dues is what is between them, and the external dues is what is from depot coming to the regiment to the QM. So when we look at the dues in, most of the dues in are the category A, or the brand new item that we are expecting to come into our customer hands, and the dues out are those that we are expecting to return back to dispose properly, or back into repair cell to be repaired. So when we talk of how do we manage our dues, so managing dues is, it doesn't rely on only the Q-man or only the UAA. When you look into LSI question set, I think section 1, question 7, it asks a question about dues management, and dues management point towards directly to the Q-man to answer, but the Q-man has no time to deal with dues in. And also the UAA, who is a system administrator analysis, he is just one person and he cannot deal with everything. So I believe, with my 17 years experience in supply chain, that it is the responsibility of the material accountants to make sure that they check their dues in, their dues out constantly each day. At least weekly they should check it. So the definition of dues management is known as the process of controlling, monitoring, and the outstanding demands to prevent delay or loss of consignment. So when we keep our eyes from our dues in, that is where we lose many items that we have placed demand for. So it is the duty of the demander, who is the MA. It can be the Bowman NCO, it can be the EE NCO, Clothing NCO, it can be the MSA, the USA, and anyone who has the authority to place demand must go through this process to ensure that dues are being controlled properly. So my next point is that how do we as a supplier manage dues? Or for you to manage dues, what are your criteria? First of all, to manage your dues, you must be proactive. As MA, you must be proactive. You must always think ahead, that looking through the system that you've used to place the demand, whether the depot or the supplier or industry have released what you are looking for. All the outstanding demands are checked day by day to ensure that you are not at default. Because when you delay in the defense, when you place demand and the demand is issued to you, and the issue date plus 30 days, you have to raise DR, which is a discrepancy against the supplier, to raise investigation for it to go on to establish that who is culpable or who is liable for the loss. If you don't raise it, and after 30 days plus the RDD, or they don't raise the DR, trust me, you fail. There's DR spreadsheet being made on Store Cognos, which can help you to understand when to raise the DR and when you shouldn't raise the DR. And also, you can also use the MJDI itself. This one, I'm talking in terms of people who are in defense and using MJDI to do their demands and process. So I also believe that many organizations with their supply chain system for demand has got a way of tracking their dues, like SAPA. And when you use MJDI, you can use the green screen or the black screen to do the search. When you go to interrogation, you go to dues screen. When you go to the SSC, which is the store scale code, when you put the ET in, it will tell you every item coming from depot, and you will know by the date if the kit have arrived or not. And you can use the customer reference being given to you from depot to check on consignment tracking, whether it's on Vital or whether it's on JDTS. And also, if you put in UT, it will tell you every item coming from different units. When you put SR, it will give you a lot of stuff which is going outside. SP, OI, and OY, they all help you to get sold. So let's look into what do you do when demand delays issue. What do you do? When we are doing dues management, dues management actually is helping us to stop delay of what we need. And when your demand gets delayed, after you do your management check and you found that demand has delayed, first of all, you have to check if the depot has issued the goods. If they haven't issued the goods, then you can go ahead and cancel the demand if you don't need it. You cancel the demand system and also the supplier system. Let's say stores and freight. Now we move to BWIMS, and you have to cancel the demand so that the customer won't supply you when he receives the A1 goods because you don't need them. But if you still need them, then you have to outsource it from outside. Or you can do cross service from other unit to get it within. If there's none in the world or there's none in global, you can move into CPNF system or GPC card or EPC card to get your battery group moving. If it has been issued but not arrived, if the kit has been issued but it has not arrived, that is where you have to monitor the timings based on the scarcity policy saying that 30 days plus the date of issue or 30 days plus the RD date. Then you raise DR report against the consignor to open investigation case to go through. And also, if you run the report, you can also do a negotiation between the user and yourself to find out whether they need it or not. These are some of the things that you need to do when demands delay through dues in management. With the final note, I want to tell you what are the benefits. What are the benefits for dues in management? The first one is it reduces consignees hastening the shopper. It reminds also the consignee. When we talk of consignee is the person who is receiving the item. So when you do dues in management, your management spreadsheet reminds you, the demander, when to chase the shipper or when to chase depot or the supplier. 2, it helps you to produce information or to provide very good information to the person who needs it, the user. Because anytime a user gives you a demand, it is your responsibility to provide what he needs. And if he hasn't got the kit on time, you must inform the person what is going on with the consignment and what is preventing the consignment to be arrived, and what is your alternative option, or what is your right for the customer. Also, when the customer receives this information, you will see that it boosts the customer confidence. So these are some of the benefits that helps management. So as I'm about to bring my podcast for today to an end, today I want to remind you that we have 6 D's in supply chain. And throughout my career within the Army supply chain for almost 17 years, I have come to understand that these D's has helped me so much. The first one is desire, demand, dues management, distribution, disposal, and data. And as I was speaking about dues management, you could see that all these 6 terminologies were taken within my presentation. So I would like to encourage every supplier to make sure that they understand these 6 concept D's to help them to do well in their supply chain. And also, I want you to put it in your mind that the definition of dues can be found in its name. The D stand for demand, U stand for you, E stand for expect, S stand for supply. So dues is demand that you expect from supplier, right? And in a nutshell, I want you to understand that if you do a very good dues management, you are helping the customer or the user to have boost their confidence in you as a very good supplier for giving them well information or an informativeness to back when they need the kit or not. This is SSgt Kwakye. I thank you so much for watching me, and I would like you to subscribe to a Global and Defense Supply Chain Analyst. And next time here I'll bring you more information on supply chain in aviation world. Why aviation world is struggling, aviation industry is struggling. There will be more research about information and how we suppliers can help to alleviate this problem to help the aviation world. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Global Defense Supply Chain Analyst.